What are the potential opportunities and pitfalls of network slicing, and do these define the network trends to come? Network slicing is a feature, unique to the 5G era. It applies obviously to 5G networks where a smart core has been enabled, and it allows across that network multiple different experiences in terms of bandwidth allocation and broadband allocation and features of the network to be tweaked to a particular category of customers. Up until now, that couldn't happen. Every customer was the same on a network up until 4G. The opportunities are huge because as the Internet of Things becomes a reality, as the metaverse becomes a reality, as people are using drones and using medical devices and banking and enjoying community things, the different devices, different services you're experiencing require different network experiences. Some are ultra low latent, some of them are high bandwidth. It depends on what exactly it is you want to do. But the opportunity for the operators to play a part in value chains they may not have ever got to before is very, very high, and service slices are the method by which the network can be made available to partners in an ecosystem to provide enterprise and industrial solutions, or to make sure that the quality of service or quality of experience that a consumer or a business is using for augmented reality and virtual reality is delivered safely, securely, and exactly as required. The pitfalls of this is that the challenge that many networks will have is that they have a lot of legacy equipment provided across a fiber and a wireless network, which need to be orchestrated together, and that's very, very complex. The second area of potential pitfalls is that this new world requires new business process. It's new ways of generating revenues, but it's new ways of enabling services and exposing the capabilities of the 5G network in very, very clever ways to make sure that the operator becomes an important part of that ecosystem. The answer to that question is really in two parts. How you allocate the slices to a particular service depends on the service definition and the service experience that the end user is to enjoy. So you need to marry the slice being made available to the type of customer experience. On the other hand, you also have this phenomenon where historically the network operator would be responsible for deciding the slice allocation. But increasingly, people like Apple and Android and players like that are also able to send instruction to the network to say, I want this service to be allocated this type of network experience. So they're actually pushing for slice allocation manually. So I think the future will be a combination of both the network operator making available a range of experiences and the content provider would select which one, or the actual content provider would instruct the network to provide a particular experience, a particular slice experience, which the network operator would then implement on their behalf. The evolution of networks right now is happening almost at two speeds. The network operators operating public networks and in some cases private networks on behalf of their customers have a responsibility, effectively working with their vendors, to modernize and put in place the automation and the orchestration capabilities to enable slice allocation to be done very efficiently. In much the same way as Amazon Web Services made the cloud very accessible, the network operators need to make slice management and orchestration and automation very accessible to enterprise customers and to make the experience for the end user significantly easier than it being a technology story per se. Security is obviously a huge feature of all of this. And what I mean by security, not only the hacker security type scenarios, but the security in terms of SLA management to make sure that the services are being monitored, assured, predicted, so that the network experience remains exactly as people expect and what they need to enjoy the actual service in the first place.